Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
Jason Whitlock calls Angel Reese the worst player in WNBA history. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I have made the calculated decision. I'm not going to partake in this unrivaled 3-on-3 basketball league. I think it's a joke. I think it's a mistake. People barely want to see women play 5-on-5 basketball, and now we want to see them play full court 3-on-3 basketball. But I will, if forced or if given the opportunity, I will partake in a highlight or two from the Unrivaled League. Yeah. And when this came across my Twitter feed, I'm like, because it's profound. Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah, Angel Reese is trash when it comes to basketball. Can't make a layup. Look real awkward out there. It looks like she never got used to being that tall. Like she moves like she's clumsy. Like she'll fall just walking inside the arena. So again, no one's surprised by Angel Reese not being a good basketball player. But you can probably put her up there as the worst WNBA player of all time just because, you know, all the hype that she's getting. People are going to really tune in and see exactly what she's doing. Again, Lisa Leslie, she even talked to her like, we got to work on your game. You got to be able to make a layup. Not those exact words, but Lisa Leslie pretty much called her trash and she wants to help her out. But, you know, she got the social media game on lock, showing her body off. So she's going to continue to make money. She running up a bag, got a podcast. So I give her props when it comes to entertainment and media. But being a basketball player, she's trash.
She has no skills. She has energy. She has an attitude. She'll rebound you the basketball.
That's pretty much it.
Great. Nothing else. She has nothing. She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball. And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. She don't want that smoke, Steve. She wants nothing to do with having to shoot the basketball. And I give her credit.
It's obvious.
It's self-awareness.
Yeah, she's self-aware. And again, she keeps showing off on social media. That's going to be her job in the next 5 to 10 years full-time. Do her little podcast, show her body off, get these brand deals, the Shade Room, and all those deals that you're getting on social media. She's smart. She knows that, okay, I'm not the best basketball player ever, but can I be the best WNBA social media person ever? And I put her in that category as being the GOAT of social media, just as far as, you know, what she's doing outside of the sport. A lot of people got mad about a year ago when I was talking about Caitlin Clark destroying Angel Reese. She's not even in the same realm as Caitlin Clark. But, you know, people are starting to come around and realize that Caitlin Clark, she's the GOAT. Angel Reese, you know, she just going to do her thing on social media. You can't compare the two.
But, Jason, I also read one of the other players, Dejonae Carrington, that fine lady. She wore some sweater with the message, and it just got me thinking, once again, this whole culture of the players, the media, the people that defend it, the players surrounding it, the players that are the coaches, they are the most unlikable culture in all of sports. They want to point the finger at everybody over why nobody cares about us or likes us. That's why they just keep giving us more evidence over and.
Yeah, no one cares about the WNBA. You got your lookers out there that, you know, they looking good out there. They looking decent. Even Shaq caught some backlash like how the women should play, I guess, in short shorts. You got to do something with the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, she was a huge resurgence to women's sports, but she caught a lot of hate because, you know, she's that white girl known as that savior. A lot of people didn't like that. So she even had to kind of dial it back, and she couldn't really get in her zone, couldn't really, you know, get that aura and emotion out there because she didn't want to offend anybody. And we seen it on ESPN First Take. All the women arguing with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. You had a golden opportunity to really push Caitlin Clark to the next level, but it was just a huge divide with the men and women, and then they tried to do the black and white thing. So they had an opportunity, but they just wanted to blend Caitlin Clark in with everybody else. Now you push Caitlin Clark to the forefront, put a lot of money behind her, and see if you can get this WNBA to the next level. Try to be profitable. I don't think they ever made a profit in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark, she got chartered flights for everybody, sold out arenas for the Indiana Fevers game. So she's done a lot for the sport. Angel Reese, she's doing a lot of stuff on social media that could help the sport. But just as far as Angel Reese being a WNBA player, again, she's trash, but, she's doing her thing on social media. I ain't hating, just speaking facts.
Dejanay Carrington, the young lady that tried to stab Caitlin Clark in the eyes, and who did,
Try to gouge her eyes,
the young lady in the Unrivaled League that wore the F Donald Trump sweatshirt. They allowed it. I can hear people saying, well, hey, the MAGA crowd was wearing F Joe Biden, FJB, but were NBA players, were athletes doing this at games, or were these people over Twitter that were trolling Joe Biden? Dejanay Carrington, out of pocket, out of line. This 3-on-3 deal is stupid and damages the brand of women's basketball. I'm saying this in all seriousness. Angel Reese has self-awareness, and that will be a good thing. If she just wants to be the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, she can have at it. She can go at it. But this, let's hopefully end this whole fake double-double deal where they're feeding her the ball at the end of the games and she's getting garbage buckets. Let's leave all that alone. Just be a rebounding machine. Again, who other than Dennis Rodman? Give me another example of a guy that's a rebounding machine.
I guess she is the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, but people sleep on Dennis Rodman having actual skills, having IQ. I don't think Angel Reese has IQ. She's just, a little taller than everybody that's in the paint. She's going to get those garbage rebounds, get her garbage points, get those double-doubles. So, again, she's trash. Is she the worst WNBA player ever? Maybe, just as far as all the hype that she got, and pretty much you see her on the court, and she's nowhere near the hype. But again, she has the self-awareness. She's going to continue to put out that content on social media. That's going to keep her name going because she knows, this WNBA thing, it don't really pay a lot of money. She's getting a little bit of awareness on the court that can, transfer over to her social media pages. So it's all a promotion for her personally. But again, I ain't knocking her. Keep putting out that content. Keep doing what you do. And as far as the Carrington chick, aka the Caitlin Clark hater that tried to poke her eyes out, she wanted to get a little political. It is what it is. I ain't trying to knock her for it, but people are going to kind of turn away from the WNBA. So the little bit of fans that you gained throughout last season, you probably lost them wearing that t-shirt. You can have your stances and who you want to represent or who you don't want to represent, but you don't want to piss off the fans. So with the WNBA, you got to walk on eggshells because you only got a couple thousand fans. You don't want to lose a huge percentage of them.
Hard-nosed, right. Tough floor, good player, galvanized the Portland Trail Blazers in the late 80s, early 90s. Buck, hold on, just before I get it. Buck, I want to apologize for Whitlock. You were a great player. You had a great career. You were a fine professional. I just want to apologize on behalf of Fearless and Jason Whitlock.
But it is what it is with Angel Reese. Keep doing your thing on social media. You're not really a basketball player like that. Had a solid career at LSU, but once you got to the pros, you're pretty much blending in. But by her having that social media presence, she's always going to stand out. She's going to show that body off, and salute to her. She's making more money off the court than on the court in the WNBA. But again, shout out to the greatest WNBA player of all time, Caitlin Clark.